Scout said something was here. Try the...
It's ugly out there. But we're survivors, and we'll keep surviving.
I got the pow-pows for my bang-bang.
For Alexandria. Make sure we keep this place.
I thought we was doing this for, like, downtown Miami. I'm so confused right now. Nice two-step, bro. Yeah. Learned a new move. You see some shit over there? No. Oh. You still awake, babe? I don't hear your voice. You are sleeping. I will tell you about it later. Okay. Stab it!
More where that came from.
I will use your brains to oil my blade. Oh, I already checked this place. Wait, did I check up here? Oh, I don't think I did. Oh. Pays to be observant. Shotgun shells would be, or SMG shells would be nice. Ooh. Is that you, babe? Oh shit, are you okay? Fuck. Oh my god, baby, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think that you were gonna hear that. I got it out, like, I'm not gonna post it yet, but I did. I got a chunk of it out. It's a start. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was trying to talk low, and I didn't even plan on saying anything about it. I was just talking, and it went there. And I just went with it. No, baby, no, especially now. You have nothing to apologize for. If anything I do, I should have been more careful. See, but this, we need to record this, because this is what they need to hear. They need to know that this is what it does to us every single time.
Who'd leave these bullets behind?
It's like it just happened. Every time I wake up, I see it. Every time, God forbid, there's Christmas carols on or fucking just, and no one cares. No one cares because they think, well, if they took your kid, you had to do something. You must be a child molester or some kind of fucking, and then they look at my past and they just assume, and everything that I worked for my entire life has been fucking flushed because of the opinions of righteous assholes who think that their moral superiority or their Mormon fucking keys to heaven are more important than anything. They told me, I know it feels like you're under a microscope. Standing on my porch had the nerve to stand on my porch and say, I know it feels like you're under a microscope. I said, dude, I wish to God I felt like I was under a microscope. It feels like you guys don't know me at all. The assumptions that they made, the things they said about me, the things they said about her, they made up freaking false charges to get her into rehab. She wasn't even smoking cigarettes, goddammit. She was pregnant, and they got her into rehab. They told her that they had a charge on her, and she had never been arrested. The only reason why they recommended rehab for her was because of a drug charge back in April. She had never been arrested. We can prove it. Look at her arrest record. Never been arrested. Didn't stop him from lying. Lied. We had a cop testify in court that they were lying. Nothing done. Nothing was said. Nothing. Why did you lie? Not why are you doing this? Not anything. Just right on to the next accusation. Let's throw shit at the wall and see what motherfucking sticks. I'm sorry about the language, but this is not a G-rated tale. It's I can't. I tune out from Baltimore and Miami combined. You guys are just gonna have to deal with the sailor mouth, But there's no way to, and it lives in our heart now. The poison that I tried to avoid my entire life, the stagnant violence and aggression and alcoholism and everything, everything that I fought so hard to get away from and make sure that I never turned into. They blamed me for being it. They literally painted the profile of the exact opposite of what I was. And wouldn't take no for an answer no matter how much. And you know what it was? Is that we complied. Every time we complied, they just used it against us. They twisted everything we said and did in the worst, most terrible. They said in court that not even after a lifetime of therapy and medication would I ever be fit to be around other human beings. with no police cases, no reports, no complaints, no anything. The only complaint they had against us was non-compliance because she missed a drug test right after she had a baby. She couldn't take a bus 3 cities to go and take a drug test right after she had. Oh, well, your participation sharply dropped off there, Lance. We were worried that things had gone downhill. No, they jumped on us like rabid frickin' piranha. She had just had a baby, for goddamn sake. She still had the cause and shit. These motherfuckers, they pulled her into court while she was still healing on contempt of court for not going down and taking a drug test, even though she should have never had to in the first motherfucking place. And we couldn't tell anybody because everybody we told us to go back to them, that they would fix it. That they do their own checks and balances.
Could help people back home too.
And then we looked online and we found books, and we are not alone. This has happened to hundreds, if not thousands of families. I sat in that man when we tried to go in and make a complaint. The man was on the phone. The supervisor was on the phone. And while we were waiting, I was just taking a look around his office, and I saw hundreds, literally hundreds, conservative estimate, pictures of children, no parents. It was a trophy room. I was so scared. I knew we were going to lose. We heard them saying that she gets bonuses for adoption, so all of her cases ended adoption. Saying it like she was proud when we walked out of court one day. We knew we were screwed. She adopted our kids out to her best friends in high school because they couldn't have kids. I think there might be a little conflict of interest there, just a touch. I hope somebody hears this and can help us. I want my babies back.
Watch it.
I can't do it anymore, especially with the virus. I don't even know if they're okay. They're in Utah. It's a Utah spot, and the people are fucking retarded. It was poisoning me before, but now my soul is on fire. I at least need to know that they're okay. I don't even know how the fuck I'm even still doing this right now. I'm drooling and shit. I work well under pressure, yo. Watch me go. Still made it to the safe house on Survivor, man. See, they doubted me. They said I was weak. They said I was abusive. Everything that her ex-husband was. And he was on our child support team, telling them all kinds of shit, supposedly, about me, saying I was keeping him from seeing his daughter, even though he wouldn't even show up to pick her up from daycare on his allotted days. Dude.
Keep holding on.
When I cried earlier and I said that wasn't the worst of it, the man had been caught watching child pornography. We tried to report him. They said we had no proof, which is such a joke because they never had any proof about me. But we were told the burden of proof on the state's really low, and they had it out for us, so we just had to play ball with them. That's what our attorney said. But when we made the report about him, we don't have any evidence. Then all of a sudden he gets unsupervised visitation and she comes back with a goddamn staph infection on her vagina and on her mouth. What the fuck? And we tried to report it. They said that they didn't see any wrongdoing. He still gets to see her. He still gets to see her. Okay, I have to look at the roses, count the flowers, fucking. It's so fitting though, it's just like that girl, it's because my therapist told me when it gets bad like this to look at 5 things in my. And you know what? I went through, not that this is going to get bad, y'all, but I went through molestation. I witnessed my stepdad break my mom's neck. He killed my dog. Look at. My sister tried to kill me. She took bullies on my whole fucking life, but I made it. I got out of that shit. I went to Utah and I built a whole new life. I learned how to be a father. I dropped out of school because they weren't teaching me how to be a dad. No one else had. So I went to the library and I studied, man. What to expect when you're expecting, what to expect the toddler years, and all the Dr. Spock books, everything I could get my hands on, knighthood stuff, anything to learn how to be a good man and a good father. And I was zen. After everything that happened to me, I had no aggression. I even found a reason for it. Not that it needs to happen to anybody, and I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying I have a way to turn it into a positive in my life. I have a way to turn it into where it's not just a poison in me destroying me. I can actually use it to help other people so they don't have to go through what I went through. And those people just said, nope, not enough. Stepped in one day, nope, not enough. $100 an hour? Nope, you're doing it the wrong way. That's Satan's way. You play D&D, you're a devil worshiper. Literally words said against me in a child and family team meeting. I was not there to defend myself. I had a kidney stone, so they decided to hold the meeting without me, even though they had been told in the court numerous times to not hold meetings without us. Didn't stop them from going to Lindsay's job where she was making $14 an hour. We were doing good. Nope. Told not to harass her at her job, jeopardizing the job, the very job that they were requiring for her to have. Didn't stop him from emailing her at work off the chain to where her supervisors got concerned. Didn't stop her from showing up at her job literally the very day after she was court ordered not to. They were told to not interrupt our time with our children. We only got 2 hours a week to see our girls. They were not to interrupt that time. They could talk to us before, they could talk to us after, but they were not to mess up the time that we had with our daughters, as they had been constantly doing since the beginning. We need to have you sign this. We need to come out here and talk to us about this, where we would get to see our daughters for maybe 45 minutes after all that running around and bullshit, trying to disconnect us from our daughters, literally trying to just start the slow process of just get used to them not being in your lives, guys, because there was nothing that we could do or say from that point on. I was told by my attorney that the literal only option that I had was to sign away the rights to my children to protect any future children that I had from, sibling at risk. But as it stood for my 2 children with very minimal, if anything, misdemeanor allegations, but they weren't founded. The one thing that they said about it was untrue. Didn't stop them from putting me in intensive outpatient rehab 2 days a week, and even that wasn't enough. They were saying I needed to be in 4, but the lady that did the recommendation told me she wasn't going to recommend anything for me at all, but they were forcing her to, and that the only reason why they wanted me in the 4-day week is it would have put me over the time limit that it would have been for my baby to come back to my home. She would have had to have been adopted for being in the system that long. They would have put me over the time limit. They were trying to steal our children
Too valuable.
with every trick in the goddamn book. Malicious prosecution 101. We need help. Please, somebody, an attorney, anybody. We don't have money. They've ruined us. They've ruined us financially. They ruined us mentally, physically, spiritually. I have not haunted nor done makeup in over 10 goddamn years because I can't. It hurts too fucking much. And I did that. I damn near. I was going to be in Hollywood. I missed my life. I broke the pattern that those people created, and it has been a pattern in my family for a long, long time. Then we moved here, in refuge, try and get away. We was only here for a couple of weeks, and literally, as Lindsay was pushing to have our son asked, they said, "Oh, by the way, Child Services is coming because of your case in Utah." Literally, the very worst time to bring that information up. Literally, as she was bearing down,
People don't deserve to starve.
And but then they showed up. We were scared shitless, but it was a breath of fresh air. They cared. They were kind. They listened. They paid attention, and there was no case open. They made sure that we had everything that we needed. They got us a counselor because the case was so extensive out in Utah, but that was also unfounded. We were literally teaching our caseworker how to do things. Literally, during the entire time that we saw Brandy, it was just affirming the things that we already know, putting terms to the things that we already knew how to do. She was like, "You guys are amazing." And we had no parenting classes. It had only been mere months since our children had been taken from us. So, what a miraculous change. There's no parenting class, and we don't have a TARDIS. I'm not Bill and Ted. There's no way that somebody could make that miraculous a change. And there's been numerous cases where we live in a little teeny town. These fuckers calling us all the time because they're little bitties and we're not from here. There's like 4 families that own this entire town. It's like a population of a little over 1,000, and there's 4 families that. Oh, and this is the last Confederate stronghold for the Confederacy. So yeah, we're deep behind moron territory. Not to offend anybody, but these people fly Confederate flags like they just don't give a shit. Like it ain't 2020, but that kind of change does not happen overnight. That means that we were instilled with that. We were doing that well then, and they were refusing to see it and turning and twisting everything we were doing around. They literally charged us with kidnapping because I called them. This was the catalyst. This is why they came and took them. I called them. Here, let me make sure I get a